Well, hello, everyone again. Welcome to another, I think this is the sixth. I should check this, I guess. This is the sixth episode of Back and Forth. If it's wrong, it'll be in the title or the comments. Yeah, so welcome. This time we're going to be, last time we set up a login button that doesn't do anything. This time, hopefully, we're going to have a login button that actually does some authentication. So that's our goal for today. As usual, we'll see how far we get and how, yeah, and see if we run into any problems, which is probably guaranteed that we're going to run into some problem or another. Yeah. So we're for those just turning in, if you watch some of the past episodes, we've been slowly kind of building a React application using Firebase. And so that's kind of Birm's expertise is React and Firebase. And mine is definitely not that. I do understand Docker and a bunch of legacy applications and C# and a bunch of other languages, but I've never really delved into a lot of the newer web frameworks, especially the front end part of it. So this has been very interesting for me. So yeah, so I guess to start with, my name's Chris. I've been a developer for about 20 years now. But like I said before, I don't use a lot of the new technologies. I work with a company that we do a lot of legacy code refactoring right now. So I'm working with old Ruby applications. I did a little bit of old .NET stuff with them as well. And then most of my past work has been mostly back-end work. And then, you know, when I started software development, we used to burn our releases onto CDs, those things. Yeah, I don't know if you remember them anymore. Like we had a client in Mexico one time, we had to burn a bunch of CDs and then send them off with the customer support team that was heading to Mexico to install the software. So yeah, so a lot of this is I'm still trying to catch up with some of this newer technologies, newer frameworks that just seem to come and go so quickly. But so far, I'm really liking React. React seems pretty well thought out and well written. And it seems to be, it's just part of it too, is it seems to be stealing a lot of concepts about let's have little components, let's have little pieces of the graphical user interface that you can reuse, and little pieces of logic. That idea isn't new, but they've just implemented in, it seems like a pretty straightforward way that still allows you to get stuff onto websites, because HTML coding and CSS and JavaScript can become a pretty big mess pretty quickly, I found. So anyway, that's enough about me. Birm.
I heard React being called PHP for the front end ones. I haven't used PHP enough to know that, but apparently that's what it gets a lot of the design patterns from. So there's that.
I don't know if that's good or bad, because PHP has a bit of a bad rap, right? Like one of the problems was PHP was one of the very first like kind of dynamic I don't know, like it generated dynamic web pages depending on what you fed into it. And it was just some guy that just created it in his basement because he needed to add a little like little bit of logic to his website, and it kind of grew from there. So it didn't have like at least the first couple of versions, from my understanding, didn't have a really robust architecture or anything. It was just kind of whatever this guy needed and other people needed, they just kind of slapped it together. But I'm sure it's gotten better over the years. But
the first letter in PHP stands for PHP, so that tells you all you need to know.
No, it used to be preprocessor hypertext. No, that's PHP. It used to stand for something.
Well, PHP, like the concept of PHP before that, yeah, but like PHP stands for PHP in the programming language name, hypertext processing. What is it called?
Oh, see, now I have to look this up here. Oh yeah, it stood for personal homepage. Is when it was first created. That's what the PHP stood for. And then I think the acronyms changed, and they maybe did the Linux thing or Unix thing where they include part of the acronym is part of the, right? Like I don't know if you use the old, like less is not more, stuff like that. Pine, we used to use an email client when I went to university called Pine. And Pine stood for Pine is not Elm. So, and Elm was a different like email client back in the day. So yeah, it's for personal homepage. It now stands for the recursive initial, what do they call it? Initialism, PHP, hypertext preprocessor. Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a history lesson. Anyways, I'm Birm. I'm a full stack developer. I've been programming for about 2 years-ish now, I think. So I know only the new stuff. I don't know much of the legacy stuff, and with the new stuff comes a lot of new fun frameworks like Firebase. Well, Firebase is the whole server backend as a service, but it's super fun to build things with, and with React especially. I built many projects with it, and I'm just trying to show Chris how much it makes your life easier by building some authentication today. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. A couple lines and it will be done. Unlike if you tried to do that in .NET, it will take you like so much. Build a whole framework around it. But yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, okay, I'll share my screen, and then for those that want, they can watch the previous versions to see how we got here. Basically, we have, so for this video, we have a login button that works. It doesn't do anything, but it just like takes us to the screen that'll say, hey, you officially logged in. So that's what we set up last time. So let's just, as usual, let's just double check that everything works. So we're using Docker to run our application. So that's why I need to, you can see my screen okay, right, Birm?
Yep. Right, so and we set up Docker like 3 episodes ago, or was it 4 episodes ago?
Yeah. So for those of you that aren't using Docker, you can just ignore the Docker commands if you just have like Node and React installed right on your host machine.
I just wanted to learn Docker, so that's why we're doing it. That's, yeah, bit of an overkill, but we're here to learn. So
oh, I didn't actually want to do that. I wanted to actually bring the application up. I just want to make sure everything works. So this is how we're going to run our application. So it's running the Docker container, and then you can see all the, it's a little bigger. It's doing all the stuff. Oh, we got a depreciation warning. I don't know if we got that last time.
That's basically the JavaScript framework ecosystem. There is just so much, well, Node specifically, dependency upon dependency upon dependency, and so there's a lot of that.
Oh, okay. So if we go localhost 3000, all right. So this is basically our page. This is our application. It is just
a minimalist aesthetic.
Sorry.
It's a minimalist aesthetic.
Yeah, the minimalist aesthetic. Yeah, it's just basically a login page, and if we click the button, it says welcome to your dashboard, and we have this whole put login logic here, and that's in this component, the sign-in component, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that's the console log is right there. And then history. Oh, okay, this is where we go to the next page, right? We use,
yeah, there's a few ways, but yeah, that's just one of the ways to do it.
And then we
that's
have
using React router DOM, and that's one of the functions that comes from it.
Oh yeah, right. That's something else we set up, was this whole routing, because to take us to different pages here, because we went from our initial index page there to the dashboard page.
Yep.
Which I think is technically all one. So that's this. It just says welcome to your dashboard. But everything is just technically one index page, right?
Yep. If you go into the public folder.
Right. Okay.
And that's basically the only page. And everything is being injected into the ID root, that div. And yep.
And just so this is more refreshing my memory, and also maybe for people watching for the first time, if we go to app.js, this is kind of the initial part, like all this gets inserted into that index, right?
Yeah, and that's just where the routing happens. The React router DOM helps in simply like only rendering the parts, only rendering the ones that are being shown, or the path is like pointing that, and not every single one of them.
Right. Yeah. So if we're at just this route, we display the sign in.
Yeah.
If we're at this URL, we display the dashboard. And then
it's still technically all the same page.
Where does this ID root come from? Like, how does it know to use ID root?
That would be in index.js.
Index.js. Oh, down here. Okay.
That is the render method, and it is getting the element, get element by ID root.
Oh, okay, okay. So it basically sets up your app here, and then it finds it by this root and puts all this stuff in there. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so it still works. That's great. We have our branch that we created here last time, which is add the login button. I think we're just gonna, do we want to merge this now, or because our button doesn't really do anything? Like this wouldn't be a feature I would merge yet, I guess.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
So maybe let's wait until we add maybe like a Google, like what are we? We're going to do the Google authentication first. Once that's working, maybe we can merge that into master, and then we create other branches for adding the like email authentication and the anonymous one.
Yeah, so we're not actually far away from doing that either. It's one line of code. So
okay. Let's leave that as that for now. Oh, I keep forgetting. I really need to post this to GitHub so people can follow along if they want. So sorry about that. Okay, so what do we need to do, Birm? Do I need
sign in component?
Okay, so I go here.
Also close the public directory because we basically don't ever need it.
Okay, done.
Right, so we're gonna start from here. And since we decided we're actually going to do not just sign in, but not just log in, but also log. We're going to start with log in with Google, and then log in anonymously, and then log in with email and password. So we're going to have 3 different ones. So we're going to rename this to log in with email and password.
Log in with
Google. Actually.
Yeah, I was going to say. Okay, so rename this login here.
Yep. A neat little thing for VS Code. If you highlight, you're on Windows, right? Control D.
Not on Windows, but
oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean the Windows configuration for the keyboard.
Okay, I highlighted the login name.
Just rename it login with Google.
This is gonna be smart.
Oh, I meant like highlight that and then press Control D and it'll highlight everything. I don't know if it's for every single framework, but it works on.
Oh, it's just gonna rename all the logins.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Oh, it's gonna. Oh, I see. It's gonna, like, if I type, it's gonna put all these. Okay, I don't. Wow, that's confusing. How do I not escape? How do I get out of that? Okay. I wonder if VS Code. That's the reason I like using the JetBrains ones. Like they have refactorings where I could just pick this and just be like refactor, rename this, and it would be smart enough to. I'm assuming maybe with JavaScript, it would go down here and find this one and be like, okay, I'm renaming this login as well. But I don't know if VS Code has that. Let's see. The VS Code. No, this is Node.js, right?
Just JavaScript, basically.
Oh yeah, I guess JavaScript. JavaScript automatic. Maybe there's a plugin or something. There's a JS refactor. Factoring source code in Visual Studio. Oh, here, I'll bring this over here so people can see. So yeah, that's one thing. If you're watching these videos and you're expecting like a streamline where we know everything, this is not the video for you.
It's always an adventure.
So it does have an extract method, extract variable. What about rename? Rename is like such a common one. Oh, rename symbol. There's a separate rename symbol command F2. Oh, okay. Let's try it. So if I don't know, I'll just highlight this guy. F2. Oh, okay. Log in with
That's super cool.
Google. Right. We're gonna Google Auth, sure. Oh yeah, okay. Hey, it was smart enough to know. So like, okay, good. It's got some built-in. I don't know if it's a plugin that we installed, but you notice it wasn't dumb enough to go redo these logins, but it found this one, it found this one.
So
And this
F2.
should be the F2. So if I hit it again.
Write that out. Okay. See, you learn something every day.
Oh, there we go. All right, cool. Log in with log in with Google Auth. Cool.
Also change the name of the button.
Also change the name of the button. The button does not have a name.
Or I mean like the word inside the button.
Oh, okay. Is it good practice to like, should we start putting IDs for these controls? Or like what is, unless you're directly referencing, is that not a thing that you do?
In regular JavaScript, you would, but in React, in JSX, it's done with like having the on-click right inside there. You don't really need use like get element by ID and stuff like that here. The ID and other stuff like that are used for like CSS mainly.
Oh, okay. So we don't need to, yeah, okay. So it's not like a.
Yeah, it's usually like in like regular JavaScript, it's bad practice just to have the on-click right inside the HTML.
Yeah.
But yeah, since it's in React, it's not. Well, I've been told it actually. I've been told at least. So.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Yeah, maybe that'll change because. Yeah, well, one thing you'll find is when you start working with more of these tools, you'll see some best practices that get exposed. And I don't know what the best practices are for like React and stuff. My initial thing would be to add an ID to everything. But, if we don't need to, let's not do it. Okay, so we rename the button. It's all good. You can see it here. Make that a little bigger.
I think we're almost there. Because so do you remember how we set up the Firebase inside the fire.js app? Firebase fire.js file? Did we set that up?
I don't know if we ended up like, I know we mucked around with that, but where does that fire.js? Like, I don't see it here.
Oh, we did not.
So I think we looked at doing that, but then because we weren't doing authentication right away, we didn't add all that, I think.
Okay, that it should be in the source folder. Everything should be in the source folder.
Okay.
That is, yeah, okay. I guess we did not set that up then. Let's get to that then. Do we have the env installed?
The what, sorry?
The .env and then.
Oh, I have no idea. Would that be package.json? That would be a JSON package, right? The env.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it anywhere here.
We should know this because like we've been doing this, but apparently. All right, then we're setting up Firebase. Okay, let's get to Firebase Firebase console. That's where we can get the stuff from.
Go to the website here.
Yeah,
this is
Firebase console for application.
Yeah, and we're in we're calling this a do app. I don't know if it'll actually become a to do app, but right, because we got the hosting working.
Extend the little panel on the side.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There we go. Okay, so super easy to set these things up for authenticate, like go to authentication.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I was talking about earlier. To initialize it, just to get started. The way Firebase works is it only really uses the stuff you need. So if you want to use it, you just kind of add it, and then all these sign-in methods, we enable the ones we want to use, and then easy as that, and we're done.
Okay, so we want Google.
We do want Google.
Okay. Google Sign is automatically configured on your connected web apps. Not Android? That's weird. Huh. To set up Google, sign for Android, you also need, okay, that's fine.
Enable?
Safe list client IDs for external projects. Reuse client. Okay, so I enable this. Done. All right, so
project. You can leave that like that. Project.
Oh, this will be the name presented to users when they are shown any public instances of your project. Oh, we don't want that. We want back and forth to example. Sure. Okay. Oh, I did set up a back and forth email. Look at me. Oh, I was wondering, how did it know all these groups? But it's because I'm logged in as my Saturday MP account. Okay, I'll just put this. Okay. Do we need any of this other stuff?
Nope. We've got that installed, so we can just enable and then done. We just need to add the email to it. But outside of that, we're done. And then we have sign it anonymously as well.
Well, let's just do the one. So this is enabled, right?
Yeah.
So there's no point in turning, the security lazy part of me is like, we don't need to turn these on until we actually plan to use them. So let's leave them off until we want to turn them on.
Okay.
Okay. So this is enabled. Cool. Now what's next?
Okay, so that was just kind of like to set up the to just enable the login with Google part. But what we do need now is to connect our. Oh, I remember what happened. We only set up hosting. That was the only thing we set up. Nothing else.
Yeah, we just set this hosting up.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That we didn't have the Firebase API keys.
Oh, we need to update our app too. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we don't have those API keys. So I think we talked about this before. We'll just show the API keys.
We're gonna delete them later,
and then I'll just regenerate them after this video is done. Is what we'll do.
Okay. Not that big a deal. Yeah. All right. Okay. And also, like Firebase will stop if anybody tries to attack it as well. Like, anyways. Okay, so let's get the API keys. That will be in the settings in the project overview.
This guy. Project settings.
Project settings, and then scroll down. I think it should be right there at the bottom.
Oh, there's my web API key for some reason.
Scroll, keep scrolling.
Oh, it's at this public settings here. This is my public facing name. Okay, sorry.
Yep, those are at the bottom there. Yeah, those are it. Like those keys. Yeah, that's the one.
Does it matter which one we take?
We only really need the part where it says var config. So you can look. That's basically for the CDN. We don't need that. We need that one. Yeah. So like for those, if you want to do it safely in our app, we would use an environment variables.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's get that started. We're just gonna copy that over once we're done.
Well, let's get that environment set up then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back here. So that's a JSON package. I have to an npm package. I'm assuming I have to add.
Yeah. .env like spelled out. DOTENV is the one.
Terminal.
I think it's control. Oh, right.
I got my two terminals. Okay.
You can also you can split the terminals as well, which is kind of cool.
Oh, okay. I just want to log into that running terminal. How do I? How do you split them?
You can delete it, or you can technically, yeah.
Oh, these little things.
You can split screen. You can split screen that as well, yeah.
Huh. Oh, okay. So I don't need this. I should exit out of this one. Okay. Everyone gets to watch me figure out Visual Studio. Okay, that's cool. Because then we can, so this is when I brought it up with the up command. Now, I don't think we ever talked about this, but Docker has an exec command, which lets you log into an existing container. So I'm just logging into this existing running container. So I'm logging into this one rather than firing up a new instance of a second container. Okay, so we're here.
Yeah. npm.env. npmi.env. Well, space I. I is short for
install.
Yeah.
.env like this.
.env, yeah, that should be it. I'm just checking right now if does npx install .env. Oh well. Regardless. So yes, now let's get started with the .env files. Let me just
okay. So I just created a .env, right? In the base, in source or root?
There is I think it's like local.env or local. I'm just going to check my projects to see how I did it. Yeah, .env.local. Like
oh, I guess we're using yarn. We should have used does it matter if you use yarn or if you use npm? We've been using yarn because we got a yarn lock file.
Yeah, I'm completely forgetting what we're using yarn. But yeah, I mean, technically it's still the same library, so it should be fine. Yarn is just a faster way of like installing it.
Oh, it did update yarn there for some reason. Oh yeah, there's that. Yeah, okay. It did update the yarn file. I guess npm or yarn hooks into it or something smart enough. So this is the env. It says earliest possible notification. Okay, so I've used this in like Ruby. So this looks very familiar, this part. Create a .env file. Okay. Yeah.
If you check the Zoom chat, I just have the link to, well, not the link, the .env.local.
Oh, why do you do a .local one? Why don't you just have one env file?
I think it's just a standard I picked up from somewhere. Yeah, local, I mean, it's a bit unnecessary, isn't it? .env should be able to do it.
See, yeah.
Just doing it a local.
That almost implies that you have like multiple env files. You have one for.
Oh, wait, I remember why. There's a production and a development version of like the API keys to use different databases on Firebase.
Yeah, that's. But yeah, you usually don't want to. Yeah. I don't think usually you want to do that. I would not. They're not even recommending it here. Having main environment file, environment file, like environment.test or environment.production or something.
Also, they're not recommending it.
Yeah.
Against having, okay.
So again, that's what I've seen when I've set up environment files or their equivalent is usually you just have one. Or sometimes people have a .env.example and they commit that and it just has like a bunch of like it has like the environment variables that you have to set and they're all just blank usually, right? And then you set like your AWS keys or in our case our Firebase keys. And then you just copy that example file, set all the keys and you're good to go. But usually you don't, because you're not committing any of this to source code. So, and then when you go to your staging environment or your production environment, someone will have set up this env. They'll either use the .env file or they won't even use the env file. Like I'm assuming Firebase has a way where you can enter environment variables, like right in that hosting tab, right? Like if we went, I'm curious. So if we went to this hosting, is there a way for me to add environment variables? No, maybe not. Maybe because this is just generic hosting or something. I don't know. But most other sites will have a way for you to add environment variables to them. So you don't even have a .env file. You just set your environment variables through the web API or something similar. Okay, so let's add. But we do need. I'm assuming it's going to go. Well, not in source. I'll move it after. Okay, so create this .env. We want to make sure this is not committed because that would be an absolute disaster.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a source. It's not a source. But I mean, I don't think it matters though. I'm just wondering if it matters.
Yes. Okay, so let's just check my Git here. So it's probably already in the Git ignore. So I don't see it. So that's good. So if we go look at our Git ignore, there's probably, yeah, it's already ignoring env. Oh, there's a test of production here, but usually just, okay, so it's ignoring them. Cool. Okay, so there's our environment file. And then we needed these. Oh, I went off the. So I'm back to authentication. How do I get those keys again? I have to go back to here, right? Project settings.
Yes. At the bottom there. Yeah. So just there is a standard for .env in React apps. Just a second. I'm just going to copy and paste some to you.
So do we need all these?
Yes. Just a second. So if you look in Zoom.
Look in the Zoom chat. Oh, they always put React app underscore Firebase. Okay, so you're thinking, so this is the API key. So you're gonna want React FB, which always makes you think of Facebook. Right. Key. And then it's equals, I think, right, for
no quotations.
I think environment files can have quotations. Oh yeah, I guess. I think sometimes you have to put them if you want like a number. If you just have a number, but you want the number to be treated as a string. But I think otherwise, I think you're right. Yeah, it's smart enough that it'll realize most of these are strings. I think that's how it works. All right, so we need the auth domain, you're saying? React app auth domain. Okay. React app project. It's this guy. I don't need these. We don't have a storage bucket or any of this. Do I need this app ID?
I did have them. I'm wondering now if I mean I didn't really think too much through it. I just kept all the environment variables.
Well, as usual, let's see if we just want the minimum amount. So let's see if this works.
I'm assuming app ID has to be there. Now I don't know what messaging sender is.
Okay, let's take a look at authentication. What documentation do they say we need? Sign-in methods, templates. Oh, this is my password reset usage. Okay, how do I get more information about how this works?
There is a lot of documentation. I don't think it's in there, but there's documentation out on the side.
Oh, there is a help here. Okay.
There we go.
Web, Google sign-in. There we go. Okay. Add Firebase to your JavaScript project. Check. Enable Google sign-in in the Firebase console.
Okay.
Done that. handle the sign and flow. Here's with Firebase. Create an instance of the Google. Okay. Sure. We can skip these optional steps for now until we get it working. Oh, it doesn't say anything about the keys here. That's interesting. I guess we'll find out if we need them or not. Okay. So I'll add those other keys if we need them, but for now I've just added these. And now this is in our env. What's the best way to load your env file in React?
I think it's available globally. Just a second, I'm just looking.
Because I think we need to do this require.net environment config. Process.env now has your keys and your values. Oh, okay, yeah. So I need to put this somewhere. I'm assuming.
Oh, that's Node.js. We wouldn't have to require that. We would just import Firebase from Firebase, and the process env, the process.env is just basically available globally.
Oh, okay. So React takes care of that for us already.
I've done it in Node.js, but and it's different there, and I don't know why React allows it to be available globally. So we create a fire.js file.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of you. Okay, I'm actually gonna listen to stuff. Okay, so it said create a fire.js file is what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Fire, not in the components though, right?
No.
Just Firebase or fire?
Fire.js to not confuse it with Firebase files or inputs. Yeah, so that's where we would put the configurations. Like, you can go to like first we import Firebase from Firebase.
Import. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
Oh, right, my fan is going crazy. Sorry.
So you said import Firebase
from Firebase.
Just like this. Is that how that works again?
Quotations for the second Firebase.
Of course, because why not? Is there a semicolon at the end of this?
Sure, if you want. JavaScript doesn't care.
Oh yeah, we put it over there. Okay, let's do it here. Okay.
Okay, right. You can copy and paste the big file config again from
Oh, copy that whole config thing.
Yeah, and then we'll just replace the API keys with what do you call it? We'll replace the API keys with environment variables. Yeah, there we go. Yep. And the way we get the API, the process, what do you call it? env files is we go process.env. Okay, you know, right? Process.env react, whatever the name you have. No, not just it's just a continuation. It's just dot.
Oh, dot.
Yeah.
Oh, it adds it as a.
And then the name of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so maybe we'll add all these keys in. Okay. So much copy and pasting. Okay, so those are all there. So this one I need. This guy. Project ID, project ID. Okay, so I'll add those other ones in here real quick. So these three. React app. What was this one called? Storage bucket?
Storage bucket, message sender ID, and app ID.
Equals this. React. Messaging. Sender ID. Equals this thing. It just enters equals this number at the end. Why do we have two? Oh, this is the app. I was wondering why do we have two IDs there? But okay, so we just have the one. So really long number. Okay. This could be this is the storage. This is the messaging. So we don't need this. Go away. Oh, too much. All right. Okay, so React API key, automate, project D, storage bucket, messaging send, app ID. All right, app ID, that looks correct. Automate, that looks correct. Project ID, that looks fine. Storage bucket, sure. And these all look okay. Okay, so we're good. How is there a way to test this? I guess we just restart the app, right? And see if it blows up in our face.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just stop this guy.
Actually, we can't test it just yet. We have to initialize a few things, but yeah, we can add it as soon as we add to.
All right, so I think it's still, let's see. Yeah. I don't know, nothing blew up. So it found all these variable names, I think. Like if we had a wrong variable name in here, like if I put this as
so special thing with React, it doesn't actually detect a file being there until it's put into until it's put into app.js and then put inside index through render. So unless it's rendered, it doesn't detect it at all.
Oh, so okay, so it doesn't even notice that we added this file.
Yeah.
So how do we do that?
So we'll just get to the next one. Do you want to commit that? Actually, no, not yet. We're not done. We're not done with fire.js yet. You have to initialize Firebase.
Okay, well, let's just do a whip, work in progress.
Yes.
Okay. All right, there. Done. Okay, what's next?
Okay, so right, let's initialize Firebase, and the way we do that is why I'm looking at TypeScript code. Sorry, 1 second. By the way, you should look into TypeScript. It's like JavaScript, but like way better.
That's what everyone keeps telling me. I've never used TypeScript though, so.
Let me just find it here. Okay, right. We'll initialize Firebase initialize app. So that would be, I don't know if you want to go to the documentation or if you want me to just tell it to you.
Sure. Is there some documentation? We can bring it up for people to see.
So go to the CDN. Check the CDN part.
The CDN. Oh, this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Firebase.initialize app. Firebase config.
Oh, this guy here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then where would this go?
That would go right under there, right inside the fire.js. Sorry, my fan is absolutely going mad.
Okay. Oh, okay. Hey, it actually made this. Okay, because now it's being exported or used or something, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's where we're importing that from, and then we're initializing that up using those configurations. Let's assign that to a variable called fire. So const fire equals firebase.js, firebase.whatever. Yeah. And then now we can initialize different aspects, right now we want authentication. So we would go, first we run export. So export const. Auth equals, and then so fire.auth basically, and then auth is a function. There we go.
Okay,
so basically that's all you need to initialize authentication.
So this export, this makes us like a global, like accessible anywhere.
Yeah, so we can now import auth instead of doing fire.auth every time. We can just put import auth from Firebase, import auth from Fire, and then we can just start using auth.
Okay, I can get behind that. Cool.
Yes. Life on easy mode, I swear.
Do I have to import this fire.js file somewhere too for that to get executed?
No, since like all of that is being imported into fire.js.
We're not calling
like
fire.js anywhere, right?
We import auth from fire.js. That's how we would get auth, like when we want to get auth.
Oh, okay. So if we go to this component here.
Yeah, exactly.
The sign in. Okay, so maybe I'll move this over here. Okay, we don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, so we're here. Now we want to import. So we're not using this anything from this file yet. So this is me just trying to understand React a little bit. We're not using anything from here. And if I want to use, and the only thing that's made like publicly available is this, right?
Yeah.
I can't access any of these other, this is all private, this Firebase config, right?
Yep.
And if I want to access, I have to add an import up here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's basically how Node.js works. Like the whole those node modules. That's basically what they are.
I have no idea why sometimes you use the little curly braces or not. So I'm assuming.
Yes. So that is actually you're gonna find out right now because we're gonna have to use those curly braces. So that's the difference between a default export and as just an export. So right now, if you scroll down to at the bottom of sign in.
Sign, yeah. Okay.
You see export default. And that's when we wouldn't need a curly braces. But since that's just a export, we would have to put curly braces.
Why don't we export default this guy?
Because we're gonna export multiple things from there. Like we're gonna have export const database equals fire.initialize or fire.firestore.
Oh, so this is if you're exporting like one thing, or if you don't specify the exact thing you want from that file, it's going to give you sign in by default, right?
Yeah. Well,
okay. Yeah. So if we did export default auth here.
Yeah.
Default.
And then
auth or const.
No, you have to. Well, technically you don't, but yeah.
So if we just did this. I know it does like the const there. Oh no, I gotta do the const auth equals.
I think you're standing it twice. I think that's why, maybe. Oh, right. Export default might work differently. That might be it.
If I just do fire.auth.
Yeah.
So okay, so if I was just doing this, that's just every time I try to import something, it's gonna give me this by default, right?
Yeah,
or is it because this is sign in is like oh no, it's a constant. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think that's because maybe like I actually haven't tried just exporting the function like that. It would usually be like assigning it to a variable up higher earlier and then just export default, const fire auth and then just export
yeah.
default format.
Oh, okay. And then
Yeah. So that way has a name to call it by. But yeah, that's the difference.
okay, but we're going to export multiple things eventually, so we'll just leave it like this.
Yep.
And is this just auth here that I want?
Yes.
And this is from, can I just say Firebase? Oh, Fire.
It's fire.js, but let me see if we actually need, I can't remember if we'd have to get the like relative routing.
Because we're in sign-in, we need to go up a level. We can't find it, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Do I need to go dot slash?
Yeah, dot slash, yeah. And you have to it has to be in string format. Yep. We got it.
These for some reason are single quotes. Down here is double.
Right. Okay. Oh, right. No, never mind. I thought you were gonna ask like why those aren't what do you call it? The others don't have a relative route. Those are installed into npm, the node modules folders,
yeah.
so they don't need the direct route, like relative routing.
Oh, okay. But now I have access to this auth thing, right?
Yes. If you wanted, you can just console log it to see if it's available.
Oh, okay. Console.log, and then do I just put auth?
Yep, auth, and you're good.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure this will work.
Oh, let's bring this up. Oh, for some reason, this whole thing crashed on us. Let's bring this back up. Oh, can't resolve Firebase.
Do we not have Firebase installed?
Oh, maybe not.
Oh, I thought we did.
Oh, okay. So that would be a problem because it can't find this thing. Okay, so we need to npmi, no, yarn, using yarn, right? Install Firebase, is that what it is?
Yeah, it should have come with like Firebase tools when we download the other day, but yeah, just that should work, yeah. Oh, you're an add.
Oh, it's a lot of packages.
Yeah, that's npm or that's node.
I don't know if we put npm. Yeah, we're gonna have to create a volume for our oh, we did install the CLI, but we didn't. I'm gonna have to create a volume for that npm package. Okay.
We do have them though. Well,
Morning.
wow, it's a lot.
Oh, okay. I should remove this package.lock.json. Did it give us? When did it give us? Did we add that package .lock last time? Oh yeah. Oh no, that edited it. When did we accidentally add the package.lock file? Oh, here. Whoops. Okay, so let's get rid of package.lock. I think. Well, let's let this resolve first. Then. All right. So now if I run this again, it should work, right? Like it should find Firebase.
It should, but that hasn't stopped it before.
That looks better. Oh, fire event is defined but never used. Okay, that's fine.
Where was fire event defined?
I don't know. Oh, we don't have a button anymore. Our button disappeared.
console.
Sorry, what am I looking for?
The console and on, what do you call it? The browser.
Oh, I have an invalid API key. Oh, okay. Oh, I put blah. Will it reload everything if I just change that? Oh, let's see. Hey, there we go.
You should be good.
It looks like you use the development of Firebase with deployment is available only in.
Oh yeah, those warnings.
Oh, okay. We can ignore that because we're just in development for now. Cool.
You
Our
can,
button's back.
what do you call it? You can change the settings where you don't have to see like those warnings.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And this is our Firebase auth here, right?
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
And
so yeah, it looks like we got it.
We got it. And then now we get to the easy part. So basically initial, like setting that up is basically the hard part. And we just add one line and we're good. We're set. We're through.
Okay, skip that. Go away. Okay, let's just do this. Oops. All right. Cool. Sorry, we had to add one more line, you said?
Yes. So I think we can delete put logic here thing. Yeah, we can delete those. And then so now we have the auth imported to get email or to get password, to log in now, whichever way we want to log in. It's really just a matter of auth that sign in with Google, let's sign in with Google or something like that. I can't remember exact. Oh, there we go. Sign with, see if it's Google. There's a Google one.
I don't see one. Oh, log in with Google Auth? No, that's the bars.
Let me just.
Oh, yeah, I guess I have the documentation. We'll take a look at that. Google sign in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna find.
Oh, we need to get a Google provider or something.
Oh, do we need to initialize Google provider? Oh, we do, don't we?
Like provider equals auth.google.
There we go.
Something like this, right?
Auth.google provider, and yeah, let me see. I think it would have to be new firebase.auth.google provider.
Oh, we can even sign with the pop-up provider.
Oh, but it still need to have a provider though.
So var
yeah,
provider.
So we have to be new.google.provider. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. So I need a new here.
And okay. Still having a var.
It said var there, so I put a var here. Oops, it went back to.
Yeah, they're still using ES5.
Okay, so we have that auth. Authenticate with Firebase using the Google override object. You can prompt users to sign in with their Google accounts, either by opening up a pop-up window or rejecting sign-in page. The redirect method is preferred on mobile devices. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so I passed the provider in. Okay, so we can redirect them.
Yep. So now we need to sign in though. That's we've just initialized it. Now we can use it. We haven't.
Okay.
Oh no, scroll up. I think I saw a different one. Right there, sign with pop-up, and then.
Oh, we don't want to do a redirect.
I haven't. I actually don't know what a redirect one is. I've never used it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's try
that
that problem.
promise. Those promises are the way I'd usually sign in. Yeah.
So just take this whole thing.
Just take the first 2 lines and we can add our own. Yeah.
Like this.
Oh no, like the first 2 lines, just 2 lines. Sign with provider, and then we just provide that provider.
All right. Okay, let's.
And then we can have a. So like I don't know if this exists in different other languages.
Oh.
Oh right, we just have auth, so we don't even need. The auth doesn't have to be a function. There we go. That's why this is life. That's why, like, don't repeat yourself, right?
Yeah, no, I like the fact that we just have auth there.
We need to, if we want to console log or redirect them anywhere, we have to, what do you call it? Put a promise. So that would be at the end of the dot. It's a dot then at the end of sign with provider.
Mm-hmm.
And then function. No, just the dot then is a function as well, or a method. And then inside there, it returns a promise. So we return inside the braces, or not braces. Yeah. If you can look at the syntax on the docs, but basically another parentheses. It's just a function, and we'll do the arrow function here.
Oh, so I basically want to follow this, right?
Yeah.
And then results. Okay.
Yes. Okay. And then console log the result, I guess.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's a good idea.
We can also put history.push. We can just put that in there since they're signing in.
So is this when it's that's when they succeeded, right? Because we'd have the error if they did.
Yeah. And then we can add a catch for if it breaks.
Right. So if I'm looking at this, we have the catch. Error.
And then error, and then console log the error. And that's where the arrow functions come in super handy. Right now, it's automatically redirecting us to dashboard regardless. So let's push that history into the dot then. Yep, there we go. And we are good to go.
Fire event is defined. Oh, we'll have to fix that later. Okay. So,
you can like do you see the I button in there in the console?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you can use that. No, that's not the one. There is another one where, right at the top, where it says 2 to 1, and there's like a comment section like that. I think that one's it. We can just get rid of the yellow errors.
Oh, so we're not going to ignore those, because some of these we need to deal with. Like, generally that's a bad, like maybe this one with the modules. Like, because we are in development, we can ignore that one. But this one, this is an actual bug that we're going to have to deal with.
Okay.
Fire event is defined but never used. So,
or at least have it, because like right now it's kind of taking a lot of vertical space. So let's have the console on the side then.
Oh, you prefer it like this way? How do I do that again?
It's in there. Yeah, that one. There we go.
Okay, so now we're here. So everything's good. Let's try logging in. I'm already logged in, so it should automatically let me in, I'm assuming.
It's still just the button.
Google Auth provider is not a constructor.
That's weird. Okay. This is going to be trouble. Let's see how we can fix this.
This line here.
Yeah, I remember running into trouble with that with Firebase signing with Twitter.
New Firebase auth. Oh, this is Firebase auth. It's not the like method auth.
Oh. Yeah, so we need to import Firebase then. That makes sense.
So should we change this this import over here?
No. This will be from Firebase, not fire.auth. So for like actual Firebase. So we need to import Firebase and to sign in.
Yeah, but we have everything here. So wouldn't we just change?
Yeah, technically we could actually create an import there. Yes. So let's make a. Oh no! Don't comment that out because we still need auth, right? This will be a different one. This will be a provider.
But we can get auth. Oh, okay. You just want to export a provider is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Google
provider. Let's call it Google provider. New Firebase auth provider. I don't Firebase, because we are in the fire.js. So that's the part that gets confusing.
But why do we have this fire here then? Like,
oh, hold on. That is a good point. Yeah, see, this is what happens when you only do something once. Keep going. Sorry, I'll just check something.
That works. And then I want this Google provider. So I can auth Google provider. I can do both of these, I'm assuming.
So I've done it before with Twitter. And the way I did it was Twitter provider equals new firebase.auth.Twitter provider. So I think it's different from the fire. It's just Firebase. It hasn't anything to do with our initialized app.
Oh yeah, okay, that made the errors go away.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we would import Google provider, and then
yeah, I did that up here already.
Okay.
So this guy.
I think we should be good.
I'm not getting any errors. That's a good sign. Hey, there we go.
And bam.
Choose an account to log in with. Okay. Oh, maybe I'll move this over here.
And the user is available right there.
So no, okay. So I just let anyone log in. Like, how do I say like, no, I only want like me and Birm to log in. I don't want anyone just to be able to log in. I want, I guess, sorry. I guess just say, cool, that works. We should commit that. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this.
Oh, so that's basically acts like sign up and log in at the same time. I'll be honest, I haven't gotten to that part yet when I've just been messing around with it. So I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, I realized the problem as well. There are configurations you can do. Definitely have to be. So that's a thing. But for now, we can figure that one afterwards. Let's just initialize anonymous sign-in as well, which is like super cool.
Okay, but first of all, so we have this working. So that just lets anyone in, right? So now the other interesting thing, and maybe we'll have to talk about next. Okay, good. Yeah, this is pretty good. This is all working. The other thing we'll have to talk about next time is that I don't have a local database that I'm saving this authentication to. Like how do I think we talked about this before, but I would want a development environment like so I'd want authentication for like testing in my development environment, but then I'd also want one for production or staging or something, right? I don't want to keep using the same one for all of them. And
so that would just be different projects, different Firebase projects. and you would connect to them, or you would change in between them using the EMV.
Would they be different? Can't you set up environments or something in Firebase?
I have not gotten to that yet. I've only seen it done through 2 different projects.
Firebase. No, there's a Stack Overflow question that apparently I've looked up before. You need more than one project database. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So I'd have to set up a second project, like to do staging or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And just, I mean, it's super easy to connect to different ones. I mean, you just kind of have to configure your .env like files, or not files, the extension, and then it doesn't really care which ones you use.
Oh yeah, I had 2 projects on Firebase, one for dev, one for prod. Locally map had 2 branches. Oh, that's kind of a pain. I thought Firebase had an environment thing or something. Let's see. Oops, how did I get to that settings? App check, no. Huh. Cloud messaging integration. Yeah, it's huh. Okay. Okay, cool. But anyway, well, maybe that'll be the video for next time. Okay, but we have Google sign in working. We just let anyone sign in. How do I print off their username? Let's print off their username when they're signed in.
Sure.
So if I'm in the dashboard, so for starters, I guess there's 2. Okay, let's get their username to print. Maybe how long have we been recording? I wonder if this is a good time to stop or if we should keep going.
Because here's the thing, we basically got all their information there in the console.
Yeah.
The user object is in the console of the browser.
Okay, so how can I print off their name here?
That would be, there's a use state, you have passing props and then bringing them back up, but well, actually, it would just be passing props into that. So I guess it would be, you just go, we have to set up state first. So it would be go to, let's start off with sign in first.
All right, is this going to be a bit of a more involved way? Okay, let's clean this up a little bit.
It's about like 3 lines of code, I would say. So first we have to import use state from React, which is a hook to keep state. So that will be in the line with the React. So line 1. Mm-hmm. We would, since like React is exported as default, and then but use state isn't. So we'll have to put it inside curly braces. After React, comma, curly braces, use state with in camel case.
View state you said, or use state?
Use state. USE. Yeah, there we go. And then at the top of the function line, like line 6 above history. I don't know. I like to keep state above it. Yeah, there we go. Const, or actually, a neat way of doing it is using the ES7 code like snippets. Type, like you can delete const and it will finish it for you. Type use state and just wait for a second. Yes, enter. Okay, never mind. Try it again. That was the second one. Delete, try use state again, and then Yeah, that one. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, so now uState has like two. So you can't update state directly. You have to use a method to do it, and that's the set state method. So right now we are looking for their display name, right? So just type display name, and it will do everything for you.
No, well, can I? Now that they're logged in, wouldn't Firebase authentication? Can't we get all the information about the logged in user? Like, can't we just get that somehow?
Oh, we are. We just need to put it somewhere. So that's why we're putting it in the state. We're creating the state for it right now.
Oh, we're not. Why don't we put the state, the logged in user? Like, why don't we put everything in there rather than like one or two little things at a time?
Could you repeat that? Oh, like have the whole user be one state?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's just do user then. User.
Sorry. So where am I going?
So just type user because it's typing it two places for you right now. So and then tab, and you can delete that initial state. Okay, there we go. So now that's the uState method, the uState hook. That's kind of like a React thing for making life easier because before it was like hell, but that's the uState. That's kind of a React only thing as well, as far as I know. And there's a whole thing around behind it. But okay, so now what you want to do is instead of console logging the result, you want to set user and then add the result. No, inside them, it's set user is a method function. Yes. So we put it inside the inside the basis. Yeah, as an argument.
Okay.
Yes.
So now we have our user in there. Perfect.
So now we have the user. We're going to pass that user down into the dashboard component.
So this set user, this is specific to, like, this is, what if someone else logs in? Do they get their own, is this use state? This is specific to like each unique connection, right? I'm assuming, or
yeah,
it's using cookies or something somehow.
It's just state of the app at the moment, whoever is using it at that time.
Okay.
It's not a like I don't know how you call it.
It's not like a global across all different.
Yeah, it's just for that component.
Okay. So now if we go to our dashboard.
Yeah, so dashboard now, since we want in dashboard, we put, let's do it like the regular way first. Let's just go dashboard, inside the dashboard, the parentheses, let's put props as a parameter. Inside the parentheses.
Oh, inside here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's now the dashboard, like that dashboard components, we want props. We can pass props into it. And the way we pass props in React is go to in sign in, scroll down to the dashboard component at the bottom. Inside there. Yeah. Where are we passing it to? Oh, we're not passing it to the dashboard component. So where? How exactly do we get? Oh, we're doing a history.redirect. Okay, so this is going to be a bit more complicated. This is going to need global state for this.
Yeah, we need to like put this in here, and then we can read the state, I'm assuming.
Because we're using, I see what's happening. I realize I don't realize we're doing that. I thought we were just like passing it straight into the component there. We could technically like set up, like usually in this situation you would use something called a Redux or actually like context, React context, but that's a whole thing we don't want to set up because that's overkill for this application. Let's see how we would go about passing that state. Because like, yeah, in React, like data only flows down and like, so like from parent to child. So we're gonna have to do some fancy gymnastics to get this to work.
But we have the state here, right? So shouldn't I be able to read the state out of this?
No, the state is only specifically for that component. it's just think of it as like an object that is only just like in that available in that function.
Oh, yeah, because we're gonna have to store somewhere that this user is logged in, because they can't view the dashboard page if they're not logged in, right? So we need there
So
should be like
be,
a check or something here. So we need to know that they're logged in and who's logged in, right? Like that's got to be kind of a global thing that's always available, right?
So I think okay, I've got this. It's gonna be a bit of gymnastics, but we're gonna set the state inside app.js, not signin.js. We're gonna set the user inside app.js.
So can we well, maybe this is something we should do next time. I know this is starting to sound a little longer.
Okay, yeah, sure. So next time we'll call the name of the user, because that's the problem was only that we didn't we're using history.push to get there, not another thing. But okay, so that sounds good.
That was awesome. I'm glad we got this. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Sorry, people watching, all 5 of you or whoever. So this still works. Does it remember that I'm logged in? Oh, it does. Okay. So now if I go, sorry, I just want to try one thing too. If we go to incognito mode. So will it even like, yeah, see, I can get to dashboard without logging in. So that's a problem right now.
Yeah.
So here, if I go log in with Google. Sorry, P. Sorry, I did the whole 2-factor thingy here because it's incognito mode. Are you trying to sign in? Yes. Okay. All right, yeah, so that worked. Oh, okay, cool. That's interesting. Yeah, so I'm curious. One thing I'd like to explore next time is how do you, so now we have this login working. We need to somehow store that, like the person logged in, we need to store some information about them. And then we need to add some security to these pages that we don't want to show, right? If you're not logged in, you shouldn't be able to access this. And when you are logged in, we want to be able to access who is logged in and get information about them, like their name or their email and stuff like that. And like, what is kind of the best practice React way or Firebase way of doing that? Is what I'm super curious about.
Yeah, there's like 2 ways, and they're both headaches. Well, one of them is a headache, one of them is not so much a headache. It's not as bad, but we need a global state management tool. Redux would be one of them, but I don't feel like touching Redux ever. It's a headache. Like auth context, use context is another one we can do. It's actually like a way to keep everything in order, but that would require like at least like 3 extra sessions of these. So I don't know if we're gonna do that.
I'm just gonna clean this up for now. Just clean all that up. Oh, we don't need that props either anymore. Where is that props? Oh, here. So, okay. Clean some of that up. All right. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Birm. That was interesting. Sorry if I keep asking like hard questions there. Yeah, I'm just trying to think like if you were writing like a real application.
Well, so we're not going as far as like, because right now if we did do like a real application, there's private routes you can set up and everything that goes around with that. But that would be like a bit of an overkill for just showing how login works and then how accessing the database works in there.
Okay. But I think we should still show like how do I protect this page, right?
Yeah.
Or these components. Like there's certain things I don't want rendered if you're not logged in. How do we check that someone's logged in? And then depending on your framework, like usually you'll have like that login logic will be, encapsulated or put in one spot in like maybe you have page like login pages that like you inherit. I don't know how it works in React, but like maybe you have pages that inherit from like a logged in page, and every logged in page just has that login logic check.
If you go into app.js,
mm-hmm.
So instead of having route, we would have like a private route, some with the components that require authentication, and that's how we manage a lot of that.
Oh, so a private route requires login first, or?
Yes, but we'd have to build up the private route. But yeah, that's how we would generally do it. We would first set up a global state for current user, and then check if that current user is authenticated, blah blah blah, and then instead of putting those like components inside a route, it will be inside a private route. And so what that private route does is simply just check if current user is true or not, or whatever. But yeah, we'd have to set up the private route though. It's not set up yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. That's basically exactly what I was asking for. Okay. So then anything inside the private route for the dashboards or maybe other pages that we created. Yeah. It would always go look to see if you're authenticated. If you're not authenticated, return them to like the home page or something. If they are authenticated, let them in.
That's the best part of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because usually if you're not logged in, you want to redirect someone to like the login page or to like the home page or something like that. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So there's a way to do that. I'm super excited to see that in action. Yeah, that's interesting. Cool. Okay. Well, I think I can stop sharing now. Otherwise, sometimes I think you and we could just go all afternoon. Yeah, but thanks, Birm. That was really useful. That was very interesting.
I mean, it's always super fun because like I'm having to like you can't technically think through every single code, every single line you write, every single import you make. For example, like those API keys that you import. Like I was like, I didn't really think much through it. I was like, the documentation said copy and paste them, and like, okay, sure. But I don't know exactly what each of them stood for. So I'm like kind of having to rethink a lot of that is great.
Yeah, and you always want like when you like anything you're not using, don't turn it on. It's kind of a good security principle, and just kind of a maintenance headache too, right? Like if you think you might use something, like don't turn it on until you actually use it. Otherwise, just leave it off. Because it's how a lot of security incidents happens. People just turn everything on or enable a bunch of stuff, and then they either don't use it or forget to turn it off when they stop using it. So yeah, I would always just do things that way. Keeps my life simpler. Like a lot of legacy clients we work with, like a lot of times you'll find they have everything enabled, or they have like there's big sections of features of code that they don't even use, or that they didn't even know existed. And those are always potential security risks because no one's using them, no one's looking at them, no one's maintaining them. So whenever possible, like I'll just delete it. Like if you're not using this function, like it's gone. You're not using this web page, we're getting rid of it. So yeah, same thing whenever you're using like a Firebase or any service like that. AWS is particularly bad for that, but people will turn things on in like AWS and then they'll forget that they have them, and they're getting billed for it, which sucks. And the other thing is it's a security risk. Like, oh, we enabled this database to do some testing, and then they just left it there because they forgot to delete it and clean it up. And then hopefully it's not publicly exposed to the internet. So yeah, so anything you could do to minimize that is the way to go. Just if you're not using things, delete them, turn them off, clean them up.
Right. Yeah, that's a good philosophy to live by.
Yeah, cool. Thanks again, Birm. So everyone who's watching, thank you very much for watching. All 10 of you, I think, maybe 15. It's much appreciated. As always, if you have any feedback for us, shorter videos, longer videos, what you would like to see, Birm talking more, me talking more, neither of us talking, get somebody else in there, let us know. Send us this contact information down below so you can reach us there. And if you have a question too, like we're just working through this to-do video, but if someone has a specific question, we would love to try and answer it or try and work through a problem with you. So reach out to us and let us know. that would be much appreciated.
Not just have questions, but like, I mean, if you want to come on and teach us something or want to learn something.
Yes. Yeah. If you have something you want to teach Birm or myself, that would be great too. You could show us demo it kind of, and then we can ask questions. That's why it's called back and forth. So people can ask questions and get a discussion going. Yeah, the name has stuck. So yeah, thanks everyone. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and day and month and all that stuff. And we'll talk to you later.